Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews. I'm your host, Spease, and today we are looking at Prey, released in 2022. Prey is the latest in the Predator franchise. It is a prequel. It was directed by Dane Trachtenberg, who had directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, and it stars Amber Midthunder and Dakota Beavers. Now, I love the original Predator movie. And Predator 2, with the return of the original Predator, Kevin Peter Hall, even though he's playing a different Predator, he was still the imposing, awesome Predator character in a way, even though it was a different Predator. So, this film, the Predator, is played by a new actor named Dane DiLiegro, and he's probably my second favorite actor to play the Predator, next to the original Kevin Peter Hall. Because you cannot top Kevin Peter Hall. I mean, Kevin Peter Hall excelled at playing those big, badass characters. I mean, he did the same thing in Harry and the Hendersons. He just really did well. He was a big man who really did well in makeup and everything, and playing a character in makeup. So, nobody is ever going to top Kevin Peter Hall as the Predator. I mean, he was great. But this guy was pretty good in this movie. Before I get into my review, let's just talk a little bit about the Predator films. Like I said, 1 and 2, the first one was great, of course.
There's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man.
Second one, serviceable. Wasn't as good as the original, but not many movies are going to be as good as that original movie. And then we got no Predator movies after that. We had Predator video games with Aliens versus Predator, and of course Predator in the comics, as well as an Aliens versus Predator comics, and everybody wanted to see Alien versus Predator. But by the time they actually did the movie of Aliens versus Predator, it was so... everything about it was off. Number one, they did the movie PG-13. I mean, number two, nobody gave a shit about aliens at that point anymore. And they had waited so long to do it, nobody knew much about Predator anymore at that point. So, it was just a moronic time period to do it, and they did it in PG-13. Now that first movie had a pretty good ending, with the Predator teaming up with the main girl to fight against the aliens, but the aliens were all CGI messes. It was a horrible mess with the CGI. Plus, again, it's PG-13. There's no reason for that. And then they tried to correct that by doing Alien versus Predator Requiem, which was, a rated R movie, but it was shot so badly and so dark that you couldn't even hardly tell half of what was going on in that film. And then we finally got another Predator movie with Predators. But they cast Adrian Brody as their lead. Supposedly this badass that is going to, you know, he's trying so hard to play the Arnold Schwarzenegger character. But you're Adrian Brody. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not even close. He tried to play the tough guy. I mean, they had two other great actors in the film that are legit. Well, actually three that are legit tough guys and could have been playing that part, the lead role of that film and leading the film. And that was Mahershala Ali, Danny Trejo, and Lawrence Fishburne. But basically all three of them were just totally wasted in that movie, with Danny Trejo and Mahershala Ali just being killed off real easily. Lawrence Fishburne's character was, you know, given a little bit more, but I mean, it was a disgrace for a movie that they made the real lead of that film, Adrian Brody. And then you got The Predator, the most recent movie before The Prey. And I don't even want to talk about that CGI mess. It was even worse. That movie was even worse than the CGI mess of Aliens versus Predator, just because these morons decided to CG the Predator as well. I mean, the Predator has always been played by people in movies, but then that last movie, they just CG'd Predator, and it was horrible. Now, so to me, there's only two good Predator movies, 1 and 2, at this point. Now, Prey. I think Dan Trachtenberg has done an excellent job directing this film. I mean, it is suspenseful. It is well paced. The acting is really good. Being that it is a prequel to the original movie. It is set in 1780 something, I believe. And it follows a Comanche tribe as a predator shows up in their homeland and begins hunting. The film, a lot of people want to talk about it and say that it's woke. It's not. It's not. That is a incorrect assumption. I mean, that's people just looking at the trailer and then going, "This movie's woke," you know, just because, you know, of Amber Midthunder being the lead character in it. But both Amber Midthunder and Dakota Beavers pretty much share the leading character role. I mean, she gets more screen time than he does, but I mean, he's her brother, and they have a really good repertoire in the film. And you know, there's not a lot of dialogue in this film because it is set in, you know, the older days, so it's more of an action kind of based film, and it works really well for that. And the acting is really good. I have no complaints about any of the acting. I mean, some of the male members of the tribe against Amber's character, are a little annoying at times, but I think that's how they were intended to be. And I think the like I said, the Predator, it is the best representation and best portrayal of the Predator since the first movie. The second one did have, like I said, Kevin Peter Hall in it, so it represented him as well, pretty well as well. But it was just it just wasn't as good a film. Prey, I'm going to go right out, and a lot of people might be surprised by that. I'm going to say Prey is the second best Predator movie. I would rank the Predator movies as the original Predator is number 1, of course. Prey is number 2, and Predator 2 would be third. The third best. None of the other ones I won't leave them ranked because they're just piss poor films. But I think I would have loved this movie to have come out in the theaters. I would have loved to have went to see it in the theaters, but instead they stuck it on streaming on Hulu, which is, I guess, fine for Hulu, because a lot of you audience members that have Hulu and stream a lot of stuff on there, you can watch the thing for free on there. So I would recommend that. I would recommend watching it. They have 2 different versions of it. They have a English version, and then they have a Comanche version. Now, a lot of people were talking about it being the Comanche version was completely shot with the actors all speaking Comanche. That's not the case. I watched it, and it's basically just the movie with all of the actual actors playing the Indians, dubbing their lines in Comanche. So it's cool for you to watch that, but don't expect it to be. It was shot specifically for them playing, Comanche in the actual scenes, doing the actual Comanche, because they didn't. They just dub it. But it is it's good to have the option of watching it either way. A lot of people won't want to watch it that way just because, nobody's going to want to read a movie, They'd rather watch the movie in English. But it's a nice, cool little option to have on there. But my rating of Prey, I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I recommend this movie to anyone who is a fan of Predator. You will not be disappointed in the portrayals, the acting, the special effects. Dan Trachtenberg did an excellent job on this film. I can't say enough good things about this film. It is a big surprise. And a lot of people have said, that a lot of studios ought to do exactly what they have done with this, and with a lot of the other franchises like Terminator and Aliens and everything, which I would be all in for that, because like I said, the Aliens movies. After Alien and Aliens, there was 2 good Alien movies, there was 2 good Predator movies, and all the rest of the Alien movies, and then all of the rest of the Predator movies after that were crap, until this one. So, I would be fully in for watching a new Alien movie, if it was done as well as this, or, a Terminator film. This is a very simplistic movie, but it works. And one of my favorite characters in this movie other than, you know, Amber herself, Amber Midthunder and Dakota Beavers. They were both really good. One of my favorite characters in this movie is her dog. She has a dog sidekick throughout this movie, and it is just adorable. If you like animal sidekicks in movies, you're gonna love this dog. I mean, this dog is just perfect. So check the movie out, please. And if you've enjoyed my review, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and you know, if you agree or disagree with my review or whatever, you know, leave comments down below. I will respond to them, you know. But hope you've enjoyed my review of Prey, and I hope you will actually watch the movie. It is damn good.